I realized that I was trying to escape life one way or another. Whether I was going to take myself out physically, whether I was going to distract myself with my friends and guys, or whether I was going to smoke weed. Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Lynn, and this is where the inspo begins. If the camera is shaking, that's because it's on a tripod and the wind is winding right now. Me and this wind been tussling for a few days now, and I just can't. I just don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm not even gonna tell y'all the struggle that I've been having with trying to record this specific video on different occasions, but it's cool. We're here now. I love being by the water. Like, it may not be the cleanest, but oh my gosh, the wind been hating on me so bad. I don't understand why. But anyways, I just love being by the water. I've been living in this neighborhood for basically my whole life. I knew of this area, but I just never took advantage of it until now. And it's just like, wow. So as you can see by the title, it's about to get real. Just looking a little unleveled, a little crooked. Just know that my tripod is standing on the ground, and this ground is like on a slope type of thing. So just bear with me. All that's really important right now is what I have to say. I am used to being a very private person. I normally go through things behind closed doors, and nobody would ever really know, like, everything that I go through. God has been trying to get me out of that. Like, we're all going through life at the end of the day. Whatever way that looks like, we all go through life. We all go through our trials and tribulations. We all go through our sufferings. We all go through our great moments. Like, we just go through life. Life be lifing. I just know that one thing for sure is so important to share your testimony, share your life story. Testimonies and your life stories can literally, it's the wind again. But anyway, sharing your life story, sharing your testimonies can literally move mountains. Please, wind, stop it. Okay? We've been beefing. I don't want no beef anymore. Like, just let me make my video. But anyways, again, sharing your life stories, sharing your testimonies, it can literally move mountains for not only other people, but it can move mountains for yourself. There's like a different type of power that comes with embracing your story, embracing every part of what you went through, and just showing people like where you are now, even after experiencing XYZ. There's literally just something powerful about connecting, about knowing that you're not alone, about knowing that you can face certain things in life and still come out on the other side better than ever. Just know every part of your story matters. And you wouldn't be where you are today without whatever has transpired in your life so far. There's no testimony without a test. And it just really serves as a reminder that you can keep going no matter what. We've all been through some stuff, but here I am today sharing my story, sharing one of my testimonies. I'm sharing one of my testimonies today. So part of this video, I'll just say that there's a trigger warning. I honestly don't want you guys to only know where I'm at now in my life, because it's so easy to just share with you guys where I'm at now. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't experience the things that I did experience in my past. It's a very safe space over here, and I just want to be honest with you guys and transparent. I don't want to be shameful about it, because I was for a very long time, but no more of that. I'm embracing every single part of my story. So this video is causing me to be extremely vulnerable, and vulnerability makes me cringe. I'm really not used to that. So I'm gonna be exposing the girl that I used to be, but I'm exposing her with all due respect. I'm exposing her with all love, all compassion, all grace, because that girl was hurting. I'll just start there. That girl was hurting. But let's get into it. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So first, let's get into the girl that I used to be in junior high school. The girl that was in junior high school, she was definitely big on people pleasing. She didn't have much of an identity. She was still trying to like figure it out. Um, she just wanted to be loved and accepted at all times by everyone. She was okay with being whoever people wanted her to be at that very given moment. And you know, people people fluctuate with the ideas of you, so it's just like, you know, tug of war with myself. Like, who am I today? Who am I in this moment? She definitely internalized everything and was extremely quiet. So we're keeping that in mind. Let's fast forward to high school. So this is a very suppressed memory of mine. Usually that happens when you experience traumatic things. Sometimes you end up burying it, burying it. That sounds weird. Burying, yes, burying. Okay, so keeping that in mind, you end up burying things deep down in your spirit, and it's not like you forgot about it, but it's just like it's just far gone in your mind. So as of now, I don't remember all of the detail of what I'm about to say. You're gonna get the gist of it. So in high school, I felt like I wasn't good enough for anything or anyone, not even myself. I felt unworthy, and I just felt like everyone would be better off without me. So I remember vaguely a particular day where this feeling of not feeling good enough for anything or anyone, not even myself, I felt that extremely heavy that day. I can't tell you what exactly was going on specifically that day for me to feel that way, but I just remember my feelings. So the feeling was so strong that I just felt like I should do something about it. And I felt like I should remove myself from the equation permanently. So yeah, I was in ninth grade going into 10th, by the way. I was in ninth grade going into 10th, and I just felt like I wanted to check out completely. So I did attempt suicide. So back to that day, as silly as it may sound, I remember trying to choke myself with a scarf and it wasn't working. So I was just like, okay, what's the next best thing? Because I knew that one thing for sure, I didn't want to inflict pain on myself, like jumping in front of traffic or jumping off a building or a bridge or whatever. Like, I just didn't want to go to any extremes. I didn't want to use any weapons. I didn't want to do any of that. So I was like, okay, well, this is not working. I'm just gonna take some pills. So I did overdose on a lot of pills. I could just put myself back in that place that I was, and I can feel that emotion that I was feeling. And I'm trying not to cry right now, cause yeah. But yeah. So I just remember like I was just on the floor, crying hysterically, and yeah, I just ended up taking the pills. So when I took the pills, my body was immediately affected by it. Um, I didn't feel good at all. I was just like almost out of it. I wasn't completely unconscious, but I was probably gonna get there, you know? So I just remember my mom coming in and she's like yelling my name. Of course, she doesn't know what just happened. Like, she just sees me like out of it. So she's yelling my name, and I can just hear the panic and the fear in her voice. um, and then she just ends up calling the ambulance for me, and they took me to the hospital. I was hospitalized for 3 days. I really don't remember what I had told the doctors because, usually after a suicide attempt, you'll probably end up going on suicide watch. But thankfully, I did not have to experience that. I promise you, God was with me that whole entire time and was showing me so much grace. So much grace. From the fact of like it didn't work to the fact of I only had to spend 3 days in the hospital. And let me tell you, those 3 days in the hospital was not just 3 days. Like, it was 3 hard days, really hard days. And those 3 days was enough for me to learn my lesson because I never tried something like that again. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm stuck here until, it's not funny, but like, I guess I'm stuck here until God takes me himself because I'm not doing anything else like that. So, see, the thing about being somebody who internalizes everything, it's so hard for me to express exactly how I feel right now, but I feel a lot. I feel more than I'm saying, and it's just that experience I will never forget. And like, just knowing that everything that I was feeling at that moment was a lie. It was a lie that I really believed, to the point where like I tried to take myself out permanently. And I just feel for my mom having to experience that with me. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, God is great. Because God really made sure that my mom was there to save me. Because had she not been there, had I did it on a day where nobody was home, I would have been out. My mom had told me that the doctor told her if she didn't bring me to the hospital, I was gonna be gone. Even though I had my own plans and I'm like, I'm out of here, I don't want to be here no more. God had different plans for me. And for that, I'm forever grateful that he's just so faithful. I don't even care about my makeup right now. Just bear with me. Not trying to let it, because I would sit here and cry. Like, that's how much of an internalizer I am. Like, I may not say a lot, but I will show it through my tears. I will sit here and cry and cry and cry, but we're not here for that right now. I gotta go to therapy for that. And I do plan on going to therapy, hopefully this year. But this feels like a therapy session because, like, I don't talk about this at all with anyone. I never really did. I don't really know how many people in my life actually know about this. So even if some people do know, it's like the majority don't know. It's really something that I just pushed far back and never brought it back up again. Even with my mom, she even told me, like, she tried to ask me like what happened, and I guess I didn't tell her. And from that day forward, she never brought it up again. She also buried it deep down. Okay. And when I laugh, when I talk about like serious things, it's really because I'm trying not to cry again. It's not because it's funny. Or if I'm smiling, it's just not because it's like a walk in the park. It's really me not trying to cry. It's like a defense mechanism, I guess. But yeah, to that day, well, after my hospital visit, I never tried nothing like that again. So let's continue on down the journey of high school, like further into high school. Now we're going to be getting into 10th grade. Continuing on into 10th grade, I definitely became of this world. I was in this world and I was of it. Okay, so I consumed myself with the guy that I went to high school with, and we was like two peas in a pod for years. And I consumed myself also with my friends. So starting from like 10th grade, that's when I started to drink. And not drinking just to like, ooh, feel a little nice. No, I was drinking to get drunk every time. At social events with my friends, even on chill nights, we would like just get together, have game nights and drink. And just vibe out that way. Even after high school, it was the same way. I was still drinking and drinking to get mad drunk. I was trying to be there for everyone and everything else while I was neglecting myself. I consumed everything that was outside of me. I never dealt with me. I always dealt with other things. So after high school, I ended up in a relationship with the guy that I was just talking about. We were together for almost a year, and then we had broke up. We took a break for like 2 months. So I say it's a breakup. After those 2 months, after those 2 months, I ended up doing something that was terribly wrong, but I still give that girl grace and forgiveness for what she did. But I did something that was very violating, and that it did sever the relationship as a whole. And mind you, like, I was really, really, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, me and this guy, we were really, like, to the hip. Like, we was glued to the hip. And I really just wanted all his love, all his attention, all this, all that, whatever. At that time, I just wanted all of him. And after I did what I did and I severed the relationship, I was just trying so hard to get him back. That's not how things work. When you do something that's violent to somebody, you really just gotta, you could say your apologies, whatever the case may be, but you gotta let it go. Let it go. Let them, you know, just let them do what they gotta do to heal from it. But no, your girl from back then trying to hold on to the relationship, hold on to him so bad, and in doing that, I just like violated his space even more. And yeah, nonetheless, after not getting his love, his attention, yada yada yada, starting from like 2017 and then years after, I started getting into a lot of, well, not OD, let me not drag it. I started getting into my fair share of situationships, and I was just doing anything. I'll just be honest, like, I was just doing anything. It's like at that point, I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to be accepted. I just wanted to be wanted. And any guy that made it seem as though they wanted me, well, not any guy, but like certain guys that I felt like wanted me, I was like, I was on it. I'm like, oh, you want me? Nah. I just wanted to be picked by people that I also did like, or that I thought I liked, whatever the case may be, because I don't know. Nonetheless, I just wanted to be picked. So when it came to certain people, that showed their interest in me, whatever the case may be, I gravitated towards it, and whatever that came with, I was with it. Even if it was toxic at a point, even if it came with sexual intercourse, we all grown here, right? I'll just admit it. I was definitely doing the do. I had my fair share. I'll just be honest. Like after a while, I realized like just because people like may act like they want you, it may not always be for the right reasons. Most of the time, when it comes to teenage boys, it's not like they want to marry you or something. I'm not saying that's impossible for that to happen, to do that at a young age, like to feel that way at a young age. But most of the time, we're all young, all still just going through life, trying to figure it out. Half the time, we don't even know ourselves at that point. So it's like the type of person that I was more on a serious type of level. And it made no sense with the choices that I made, like guy wise. None at all. But again, I'm gonna give that girl grace. It's cool. It is what it is. In 2017 is when I really started smoking weed. Those who know me, those who were smoking it with me, they know, obviously. You know, those who I was, the people that I was really, really close to, they knew. But smoking weed wasn't really something that I was like so proud of. I wasn't like the type of person that like everybody know I smoke. Like it's just those who knew, those who didn't. It's not something that I broadcasted. So I started to use weed as entertainment, as something to numb me, my problem solver. Um, oh shoot, sorry about that. I used it as in a way to escape my reality. Excuse me. And I also used it as something that would like accompany me whenever I was like alone or whatever. Like just company, just like a friend or an ex. I always think of weed as like my toxic ex, as a toxic ex. And I'm not like saying anybody in particular, but I'm just saying the weed itself is my toxic ex. As you may know or you may not know or whatever, smokers often hang out with smokers. So I started to smoke a lot. In 2020 is when I learned how to roll. And from that moment on, it was over. It was over. I started to smoke excessively. After a point, I honestly didn't know that I was addicted until I was addicted. And I realized that I felt like I couldn't stop. I honestly felt like I had to smoke and I just couldn't stop myself. After I realized that like the smoke was kind of getting out of hand and it just felt like that was something I had to do, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take a break. Ask me if I took a break. Ask me if I took that break that I said I was gonna take. No, I did not take a break. I gave into my flesh every single time. I couldn't do it on my own. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I didn't even know why. There was some days where I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna smoke today. I don't need to smoke. And I find myself rolling up again. And it's just like, girl. It's like honestly, you won't even understand certain addictions unless you're in it. You won't even understand addiction itself unless you're actually in it. It honestly feels like you can't stop. I mean, at least for me, when it comes to addiction, like it was like air to me, like oxygen or something. Like I needed it. But yeah, I could not take a break on my own, and I gave into my flesh every single time. Honestly, honestly, as I go down memory lane, I realized that I was trying to escape life one way or another. Whether I was going to take myself out physically, whether I was going to distract myself with my friends and guys, or whether I was going to smoke weed. I was trying to escape life, reality, my life, in one way or another. And I'll be honest, like the life that I was living, it was really not life at all. It was giving very much prisoner. I was honestly a prisoner to myself and to the world, to the weed. Like, it was crazy. And I didn't realize that for so long. But I was definitely a prisoner. I just want you guys to know that God, He's a deliverer. Deliverer. Like, big deliverer, not the little one. Big deliverer. God is still good. He's still working. He's still living. Like, God is still here. For anybody who is struggling, for anybody who can relate to me in whichever way, I want you to know that you are not too far gone for deliverance. You're not too far gone for a new life while still in this world. You can be in this world and not of it at all. And when you're not of this world, I promise you there's so much freedom. There is literal freedom in Christ. And I'm a living mother freaking testimony of that. There's freedom in Christ. I'm literally free. Like, I'm not in bondage anymore. I'm just not. I'm just not. I'm definitely not of this world anymore. Nothing has a hold on me but God and Jesus Christ Himself. We literally all did not ask to be here, but we're here, right? We are here. So that means that if we're here, if we were created, we have a purpose. I just want y'all to, if you haven't already, get closer to your Creator and seek your purpose. We're not here just for a good time, and we're not here just to suffer either. There's literally more to life than this world has to offer, and I promise you that 110%. There's more to life than what the world could ever do for you, offer you. Like, compared to God, compared to Jesus Christ Himself, this world ain't got nothing in it for you. Okay, I'm not gonna speak for you, but for me, this world don't got nothing for me. Sorry, not at all. And I'm just so grateful, y'all. I'm just so grateful for real. So grateful. We're all here for a reason. Well, that's all I want to say. Like, I've been through a lot more. I'm just scratching the surface with you guys, but as time goes on, I will continue to share what I've been through in life in general. But those are the main things that, like, nobody really knows about me unless you know. If you know, you know. But yeah, there's so much more I can share with you guys, but that will happen over time. Life is all about testimonies, and we can all get through it. We can all get through life. I understand that life has the ability to devour you, to stop you, to keep you stagnant, to keep you down. But it's all an illusion, and it literally cannot stop you if you don't let it. So, with that being said, I'm going to see you guys in the next video.